Hi, hello. I'm kind of like look a little bit of good. I just haircut. Yeah. Okay, should we start? Alright, let's go. Alright, so this is the My Artifact episode number 3923, maybe. I'm not really sure about the number. Today's date is March 5th of March 2026. It's almost like a morning at 9:46 a.m. Alright, should we jump into the question? Let's go. Alright, the question is, why does sun appear larger when it is near to the horizon at sunset? That's a really good question. Okay, yeah. First of all, okay, you are kind of like somebody want this is what is at least this book. This is the book that I'm reading right now. Really good book. I really highly recommend to you. Okay, so basically I wrote my question in here. Okay, yeah. Why? Because all those questions are in mobile phone. So obviously, how do I supposed to just do this thing while recording? It's not. So that's why I wrote this question here. Okay, yeah. So first of all, what exactly is this question, and why am I asking this question to myself? Um, I always kind of like is only very curious about small stuff. That why is actually small things actually exist. Like why does plant look green? Why the sky looks blue and things and that and that. But I never really put that much focus or kind of like I didn't really put that much intention or interest into this thing. I thought that it's a very stupid question, so I never really asked this question to myself. But then I realized that no, I should supposed to be asked this question to myself in Artifact episode. So that then I went to ChatGPT, kind of like put the prompt that ki suggest me kind of like something such a stupid question. Okay, that I could kind of like see, and kind of like a chat GPT kind of like give me almost like a hundreds of questions like this. Okay, yeah. So this is one of those questions. The question is that ki why does kind of like a sun look bigger at horizon at sunset? Okay, yeah. So basically it's this thing, sun is not became bigger. Okay, yeah. I don't know, you have you ever kind of like experienced the sunset? Okay, yeah. If you don't, I'm gonna kind of like somebody tell you, look at the sunset. Okay, yeah, sunset or sunrise. Okay, sunrise and sunset are like a really one of the beautiful thing. It depends on where you kind of like looking at them. Okay, yeah. Like I am at the rooftop. Okay, yeah, and usually this is where the sunset is actually happened. Okay, yeah. And when the sunset actually happened, I could see really good things, the clouds and things and that. Sun rising is actually from this side. Okay, yeah, like this is my home. Okay, this I'm kind of like sitting. My sunrise is actually from there, and it's set over there. Okay, yeah. So what exactly is this thing? Okay, yeah, it's a like, does sun get bigger while sunset? No, it's not. First of all is that key observe this thing, like most of people don't really observe that key, like at the sunset sun kind of like look bigger. Okay, yeah. Most of people are kind of like ignore that thing, that key, yeah, it's a, but like somehow I might kind of like see and things. And okay, yeah. So what is at least this thing that sun look kind of like a bigger at horizon? Well, or maybe kind of like a sun get kind of like a closer at horizon? No, it's not. Okay, yeah. Sun is not get bigger. Okay, yeah, it's not. Then why does kind of like a sun kind of like look bigger at the horizon? Well, it is our illusion. Okay, yeah. Now what is actually illusion? Okay, all right, let's just do an example so that you might gonna understand. It's a very simple example. Okay, yeah. So this is a kind of like a piece of paper. Okay, yeah. So uh okay, yeah, so this is a kind of like a piece of paper. Have you ever seen? Okay, yeah. So okay, if you might not understand, let's just kind of like I might gonna do right here. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of experiment so that you might gonna understand regarding about the illusion. Okay, yeah, it's a really good illusion. All right. So okay, yeah. So look at this page. Okay, yeah. What are you kind of like a seeing? A kind of like a bunch of text, right? Yeah, like a completely text. There is nothing really at all. right? Now what I do, I'm gonna do kind of like another experiment. Okay, yeah, in here. So I'm gonna put right here. Okay, I'm gonna say this like okay, yeah. Now this is a blank text, and you are kind of like a seeing something here. Okay, yeah. What is that? That is my name, Saurabh. It might kind of like a look little bit of kind of like a dinky, but yeah. But why you are kind of like a seeing this, and why you are kind of like a ignoring like this page, why are you ignoring this page? Okay, yeah. Let me tell you one thing. Okay, this is a kind of like a bunch of text. Okay, yeah. In this all around the pages and things like that, it's actually written over here. Okay, yeah. But you ignore that thing. Why? Because it's kind of like a somebody doesn't really add any kind of like a somebody visual appearance. Okay, yeah. And in here it kind of like a creates a visual appearance because everything is a blank. What I'm trying to tell you is this thing, that ki our brain is a kind of like a see stuff from empty point of perspective. Now what's the empty point of perspective? When you see the sky, okay, yeah, there is nothing. Okay, yeah, like I'm gonna tell you the sky. Okay, so have you seen the sky? Okay, yeah. So if you are kind of like seeing the sky, you are not seeing anything at all, huh? You might gonna see, but it just nothing really at all. Okay, let me show you the sun too. Okay, yeah, like it's a kind of like a really good example. It's an illusion, it's not a scientific, but yeah, I don't know, you might kind of like see the sun, or maybe kind of like somebody the camera sensor might see the sun, but okay, let's just do it. Okay, so have you see the sun? Okay, maybe in the kind of like a camera lenses, probably it might kind of like a blown out everything because there is no ISO control feature, there is nothing really at all. You might see the sun or not. Okay, but it kind of like a very vivid. Okay, very kind of like a very just very strong. Ah, what the sun? Oh boy, sorry about this messy stuff. Okay, yeah, whatever. This frame is kind of like really good. Okay, yeah. So what was I saying? Illusion. Okay, yeah. So illusion is that ki sorry, I was like somewhere else and things on that. So have you seen the blank page? Okay, yeah. So in the blank page, there is a kind of like a something that you are kind of like a seeing over here. Why are you seeing this thing over here? Is because of that the entire page is a blank, right? Now, because of entire page is a blank, this is the only one thing that you are kind of like a seeing, and because of it's only one thing, your attention is actually drawn towards this thing. Okay, because rest of the pages is a blank, but this is a kind of like a things are seen, so your attention drawn towards kind of like a simply empty frame. Okay, yeah. Empty kind of like a simply empty box, and there is a kind of like a red dot, so your attention draw towards that red dot. Same thing happened in here too. Okay, yeah. Now why is actually happened is that is called kind of like a simply minimalistic effect. Okay, yeah. When there is nothing to see and you are kind of like a put only one thing, your attention draw towards that. But if I just put here or maybe something like here, then your attention is not draw attention towards this thing. Why? Because there are so many stuff to look at, right? That's a kind of like a things. Our brain is a kind of like a something is this thing consider it's unimportant. Okay, why? Because there is a lot of stuff in it. Okay, yeah. But when there is a this, our brain feels important. Why? Because we think our brain thinks this is important because rest of the frame is a blank and this is something is actually kind of like a written over here. Now this is called kind of like a minimalistic effect. As a graphic designer, use that thing to kind of like a draw the attention. Okay, yeah. Now in nature point of perspective, same thing happen in nature too. Okay, yeah. Like as I mentioned, the sky, look at the sky. Okay, in the frame you might see the sky. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing in the sky, consider I am a sun. Okay, I am the sun. Okay, yeah. So basically is this thing, who do I supposed to compare? Nothing really at all, na? Okay, yeah. Like basically I am the only one in the kind of like a frame. Okay, I'm the sun. Okay, yeah. So there is nothing to compare. Okay, like I'm kind of like a far less closer to you, so that's why you might kind of like a see a little bit of kind of like a bigger, but things it is that na ki like basically the sun is on the sky, there is nothing really else to compare. So when there is nothing really else to compare, it kind of like a feel smaller, it kind of like a feel smaller. Okay, yeah. But when there is a something to compare means like that when the sun is on the horizon. Okay, yeah, you might see the horizon, you might see the kind of like a mountains, buildings, lot of stuff. Okay, yeah, you might see that thing and then you started compare. Okay, look, in front of the sun these are all those things are look tiny. Okay, yeah. So basically from our point of perspective we think that the sun is a kind of like a somebody look bigger or kind of like a somebody much more bigger. Okay, yeah, it's a perception. Okay, same thing happening over here. Like basically is this thing in the completely blank space, you are kind of like a draw attention over here, but it kind of like a look so tiny, like a very tiny. But if I just kind of like a somebody write something here, like a something, let's just say I'm gonna write something like a my name here, like this. Okay, yeah. And you might see something over here. Wait, you might see something over here where it is. Okay, yeah, here. Okay, yeah, you might see this is a kind of like a signature that I did. Okay, yeah. So as compared to it kind of like a look like similar. Okay, yeah, but sun is not like my signature is kind of like a bit more smaller. But if I do this thing, Okay, yeah. And you could kind of like see this is a kind of like some resisting, like imagine this is the sun, and because of it's kind of like a simply far much more bigger than rest of the text, so it kind of like a feel bigger. Okay, it's a illusion, like a if I draw the same circle in here. Okay, yeah, if I draw the same circle in here, it just kind of like a feel uh, uh like you don't really have any comparison regarding about how big is that. Okay, yeah. But if I do the same circle in here, you get the comparison of words and things and that, so that's why you kind of like a feel like this thing is a kind of like a much more bigger. So same thing happened with the sun too. Okay, so when the sun is actually horizon, it's not look bigger, it's the illusion that the rest of the things are kind of like a smaller, so that's why we think that the sun is a bigger, but actually it's a sun is not. Okay, it's just there. All right, so this is just a kind of like a new question. It's a really good question to ask. Okay, yeah, but it's really good. I wanted to continue, but still is this thing, there is a lot of stuff actually happen at my home. So okay, so this is it, this end, and thank you.